for you. Hey everyone, it's Tuesday, the 2nd of February, and I'll have to edit that out when I turn this into a podcast. But you are here at Litvak Leadership Live, and I am here with the son of one of my good friends. This is, let me introduce you to Nycholas, or do you prefer Nick Burns?
I do go by Nick personally, so let's just go by Nick.
We'll go by Nick. So Nick, and I have not met before today, although we follow each other and on social media, and we'll comment on each other's things. I'm actually friends with Nick's father, so we'll just throw that out there. But he is not going to get easy questions. Matter of fact, we will make the questions even harder today because you are your father's son, and I would wish nothing more on my son also. So, are you having a good day?
Today is a great day, Sean. What a great opportunity we've all got to have another day to go out and win.
Absolutely. So I got to ask you first, what does your employer think about you being a guest, not on one, but on two live stream shows in the same day?
Let's just say that I'm going to ask for forgiveness and not permission.
I understand the concept of being under radar. It's not a bad concept.
No, it's no big deal. We're all just having a good time. It's no big deal. We're all cleared. We're all good to go.
And it's great promotion too.
Definitely.
Oh, Mr. Burns. Now you know you have arrived. Mr. Burns. All right. So Nick has been a football star in high school and college, or college athlete, depending upon one's perspective. He has worked at as a mason, and now he is a virtual CFO with Inspire Financial Group. So these questions should be simple. Tell me first, how do you define leadership?
How do I define leadership? I think I'm a big servant leadership guy. I think leadership should be vocal when it needs to be, but I think a huge thing is leading by example, and walking the path along with those around you. Leading from the front and not the back, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we've all seen that. I guess it's a cartoon where, there's the pharaoh figure in the back and then the other one with the guy pulling everyone ahead. So how do you end up leading from the front if the back isn't being motivated the way that motivates them?
I think if there's a lack of motivation in the back, maybe there's a lack of personal connection throughout the entire, whatever you want to look at it as a team, as an organization, a business, whatever it is. Maybe that's a lack of personal connection from the top to the bottom. Obviously you get to large scale corporations and things like that. It's pretty tough to have personal connection, obviously. But I don't know. That's a great question. I think it would depend on the size of the group you're looking at.
Okay. So what role does faith play in leadership for you?
I think as leaders, people are leaning on you, right? People are leaning on you for wisdom and knowledge and guidance and whatever it is that you're helping lead them in. And I think as leaders, we have to have somebody to lean on as well. And so I'm guessing based on your question, you're strong in your faith, and I am as well. And I believe that we have to have resources for us to lean on, and that is faith. That's whoever your God is.
I'm pondering that last part. Whomever your God is. So that's a different show. The response to that question with a follow. So tell me about your experience as a follower, where you looked at the leader and the lesson you learned was what not to do. Because we've all been there.
What not to do as a follower is the question. Yeah.
No, as a follower, think back, and
Okay.
you were in a group, and there was a leader,
Mhm.
and the leader was not doing it right. And you
Mm.
thought to yourself, I'm never doing that.
I think a lack of humility is hugely impactful, because if, hey, you can be the top runner in whatever you do, but if you're arrogant and you're not able to see the perspective of the people that are maybe below you, right? The people that you're trying to pour into, that's going to make things a little difficult, and it's going to create, some division and lack of personal connection, like we talked about. Maybe there's a lack of motivation on the back of the group.
So your father wants to know, do you still have wheels? What is that about?
My dad has asked me this question. First of all, shout out, Dad. Happy birthday. He is an old man again today. So happy birthday, Dad. Love you.
He does have gray in his beard, like some of us.
It's starting to be gray here and starting to get gray up here, but he's also starting to lose a little bit up here too. So, hey, it is.
I will never go gray up here. I don't have to concern myself with that. So what's the deal with the wheels?
So he has asked me this question since I don't know how long, but are you still fast is the question. Being an athlete, he was always, you still got wheels? You still got wheels? So the answer to the question is yes, I do still have wheels. And I think that that's always going to be the answer is yes, I do still have wheels.
And who is Ethel?
That is my grandma. That's my dad's mom.
I was going to say, because with the name Ethel, I thought this has got to be Grandma Ethel. But at the same time, I didn't want to, maybe Ethel's become a popular name and this is like your young aunt for all I know.
No, that is my dad's mom, straight from Boston, and love you, Nana.
Cool. All right. So what is your passion?
What is my passion? I think personally, if I can help people to do the things that they want to do, that's a huge benefit for me. Which I guess is, it's kind of interesting because you think of what is your sole purpose. A lot of times that's doing something, but I think for me, being able to help people find and identify and get to their sole purpose and goals and dreams, I'm a geek for that kind of stuff.
So how do you get them to their sole purpose and dreams?
I think it starts with, well, you got to identify what your goals and dreams are. Let's write those things down. Let's put them out to the world. Right. I like to focus on 5 core areas, and that's relationships with friends and family, your career or your sole purpose, however you want to look at it, your finances, and then your physical and spiritual health and well-being. So it's always got to start with what is the goal in all those areas. And then from there, where am I currently at in all those areas? So, I think identifying those 2 things is almost 50% of the entire thing. And then from there, it's what are the next steps based on those questions?
So you are obviously very well read because you rattled off, well, I focus on these 5 things. I mean, very impressive. So where do you go for inspirational leadership?
I got to say, Stephen Furtick on
I'm
YouTube.
familiar with him.
I'm a huge Stephen Furtick Elevation Church guy. I like the energy that he brings. I'm a big reader. I do love reading, and self-help motivation or I guess self-development type books are one of those things, as well as others. And I think if I can always be a sponge in life, then it's only going to help me and those around me.
So talk about being a sponge in life and helping others. How are you a sponge?
How am I a sponge? I think it starts with, having a right mindset, right? A positive mindset in the factor or in the perspective of, life's going to happen, right? But how are we going to view those things? I think life is nothing but a fork in the road of, am I going to go left or right? How am I going to respond to whatever's happening? And being a sponge is, hey, let's look at this thing from a couple different perspectives, if not all of them. And let's try to find out what's, reasonable and logical in this situation. What do? I try to think a lot with logic and reason rather than emotion in most situations. But I think being a sponge is, let's look at the situation. Let's step back and see what's going on so that we can better prepare ourselves for, today in this situation, in this, fork in the road, but maybe I can learn something so that it'll help me in a different fork in a different road.
So you've got a huge fan club here today. I've got to tell you. So let's see. Who's Robin?
That's my aunt. Hey, Auntie Robin, love you. Auntie Robin.
Who's Scott?
That is my high school offensive coordinator. Love that guy. What does he say? One of, if not the best young man I have ever had the opportunity to coach. Thank you, Coach Chisholm. Love you.
And then who is Miss Mary here?
That is my grandma. That is my grandma on my mom's side. That's Mama.
Because you must have sent out the link to a bunch of people and said, "Come on now."
Man, I got a nice little support crew behind me. I've always had a great support group. Hey, there's Skyler. That's my boy. That's one of my boys from high school, fellow teammate and good friend.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what's it like to be surrounded and encouraged? Because you were a high school athlete. You did very, very well. It sounds like in college, as a collegiate athlete, you did very well. And you've got this great support group. So now I'm going to turn it into something bad. How do you not end up with a big head?
Man, I mean, there's nothing that I could, I think it's the people that have raised me. It's my family. It's my mom and my dad. And the extended family on both sides. I've had a lot of great people pour in good stuff and let me get to a certain level and slap my hand when things go too wrong. When things go wrong, you do start to get a big head. But I think it all goes out to my family and the friends that I've, had around me. I don't know that it's, if I would say it's luck, but I've been afforded a great opportunity to have great family and friends around me as a support group.
So how do you motivate people? Because as a quarterback, surely you were motivating people. You must have been behind at different points. And in the huddle, when you were getting your butts kicked, unless you were that good that you guys were always ahead. But, I don't know your football career, but I'm imagining everyone has that butt kick moment. How do you motivate people?
I'll give you a quick story of an exact situation like that, where you're down and you're out and you got to figure out what's the next step. So it was in high school. We were, I can't remember who we were playing, but is late in the game. I think we may be up a touchdown. Maybe we're down a touchdown. It was a little close. Blake Kuhn, what's up, man? So we they kick off, or as a punt, whatever it was that happened, and we get the ball on the 1 yard line.
Okay.
And we got to drive 99 yards to get a touchdown.
Yeah.
Huddle, and we're like, so again, kind of goes back to that positive mindset of how are we going to react to this situation? I said, guys, look at how cool this drive is going to be when we go down and we punch this down their throat 99 yards. That's going to be sick, right? And everybody's like, yeah, I guess so. And so, and guess what we did? Drove down the field 99 yards and we scored a touchdown. And so how do you motivate people? I mean, very, very personal type of question, I would imagine, right? I mean, everybody's got different types of leadership skills and abilities. Man, I don't know. I don't know if there is one answer for that question. Depends on the situation, depends who you're with, right?
Absolutely. So when you look at people who are going to be this, and people said that, oh, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. What kind of words have people laid on you as to what you were going to achieve?
I don't know if I even have an answer for you. I always try to keep away from comparing myself with what people think that I should be and who they think I should be. Because at the end of the day, I'm running a race of life against myself. And I'm just trying to be the best me that I can be. Because if I'm gonna be whoever everybody else wants me to be, that's a tough game to play.
It's a very tough game to play.
I'm not 100% sure who I would think that people would want me to be, but I'm sure my support group behind me wants me to be the best me. So,
well, Janae thinks you're an awesome leader, so it's all
That's
good.
my girl. That's my girl. I love you, babe. Thanks for hopping on.
So, all right, next question. What do you think is the most undervalued, needed talent?
I think I'm really interested personally and now professionally, because it's a huge part of what I do, but communication skills. I think communication verbally, non-verbally, and having just the social intelligence to read a room at some level. And I hate to say to know your place, but hey, if we're having a conversation and other people are having a conversation, and it's not the right time for me to interject and put my 2 cents in, then I'm not going to put my 2 cents in, right? And I think picking your battles and reading a room at some level socially.
Do you think your dad eats too much pizza?
I mean, he might eat a little bit more pizza than average, but I'll tell you what, the guy's staying in pretty good shape. The guy's staying in pretty good shape. He's doing a lot of walking. He's doing some good stuff. So hey, he might eat a little too much pizza, but what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, and I'm not a funny question guy. I only let the funny questions come up from other people. And there we go. We got the pizza emoji. Before I met your father, I didn't even know there was a pizza emoji. So unbelievable. So when you're working as the virtual CFO, how do you communicate strategy to those that you are working with?
Well, it all starts, at the beginning. Like I was saying earlier, let's identify a vision and let's identify where we're currently at. And our process is set up in a way to where we can identify where we're at, right? Based on where we want to go, we can identify what are the optimal and efficient things that we need to address in all of these different areas financially. And then as far as presenting strategy, we are very fortunate to operate in a CFO CEO type of role. So our clients are the CEOs of their life, their family, their business. Hey, we just want to bring to you as CFOs, as virtual and personal CFOs, we want to bring to you, the best and efficient strategies and concepts so that you can make well-informed decisions.
Okay.
When it comes to presenting strategy, to be honest, there's not a lot of presenting that has to be done. More or less, let's identify what some of these things are that we can take advantage of. And obviously, we do make our recommendations, but at the end of the day, it's what do you want to do? This is, you're in the driver's seat.
So back to strategy then, what do you do when you've got someone in the driver's seat, you've given them the wheel, and they just kind of look at you and go, I don't know what to do. How do you handle that?
Yeah, no, I think so part of our process, very end of our process, is making those tactical recommendations. And so, I think whenever it comes to a situation where somebody says, I don't know, what do you think? Hey, these are our recommendations. This is what we would implement. And, again, as fiduciaries, we are not going to enact anything if somebody's not fully on board. And so I guess at that point, it's really a matter of, these are our recommendations. This is what we're going to do. This is what we would incline, or make the inclination that you should do. So yeah, I think it would be addressed somewhat like that. I don't know if that answers the question.
No. Every question doesn't have an answer. Sometimes there's just questions, such as, and again, I never ask fun questions, but I'm getting them today. New Kids on the Block or NSYNC?
Man, I don't know.
Thank you. No. Thank you for that answer. Tim, give us something better than that next time. All right. So, what is the balance that you navigate between your father? So I will tell you, Nick, very active audience today, very popular, but nobody beats my cousin Sari, who doesn't seem to be here today. Most viewed show ever, from the Queen of Las Vegas and your father's bedazzled pants. Okay, so how do you balance? You're in the working world. Okay, and I'm sure you had this in athletics too. How do you balance teamwork and competitiveness?
Mm,
Because you're competing with your teammates sometimes, but you got to work together. But
yeah.
you want to achieve. How do you balance that?
I mean, I guess again, I'm gonna have to lean on the team that I get to be with here. Our little team is called the G Unit, and luckily, almost all of us were all ex college athletes, so we kind of have that experience of competing with our teammates.
All
Um,
right.
but we're in a big mind space of iron sharpens iron, and we're all trying to we're all trying to beat each other, right? But we all get to learn from each other's mistakes and from each other's wins. So as far as balancing between competing and being a team member, I don't know. I think it all has to come from a good place in your heart. I mean, if you hate people and you're trying to beat them all the time, it's probably not going to end up too well. But if you're living with bitterness in your heart, it's probably not good.
See, and I don't even need to ask you questions because now I'm getting quality questions since I asked for them. Okay, how has football helped you with your career?
Mm. How has football helped me with my career? I talked about this earlier. I was throughout my entire football career, I never actually got to get on the field very much. I played some garbage time, and but the cool part is the really big win is that throughout my entire career, I put in the extra work. I went to the extra throwing sessions. We all organized, the receivers and the Qs and the running backs would come out and we're going to throw some extra routes, watch the extra film, took a couple extra notes, and it didn't work out, right? It didn't work out on the field. But those types of qualities that I had learned and kind of became ingrained in my character, as far as doing what I need to do to put myself in the best position for myself and for my clients at this point. I think learning some of those intangible, like, hey, let's go out and do what we need to do, whether that's something I want to do or what I don't want to do. So I think being in a position where maybe things didn't work out, I think it did in the long run, because I think I'm winning the game in the long run.
So when you talk about winning games in the long run, you did 75. You and your girlfriend both did 75 hard last year, which I started it last year at one point, and I think I made it to 12. And I said, okay, enough of this. I couldn't concentrate. I needed to do it another time, and I started the year with something else. So what did 75 hard, Robin wants to know, teach you that you can use in your professional life?
Okay, so first I'm going to preface saying this, that I'm in the same boat as you are with 75 hard. My girlfriend Janae did it, killed the whole thing. Mine was like day 1, day 2, day 1, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 1. I didn't make it too far. But I think the idea of it is not necessarily the physical part or the diet part. It's not that. I think it's all about having control of your mind and being able to commit to yourself and commit to something in the long term. I mean, making the decision to do something now that's going to affect things later on. I think true character comes into play whenever you have to continue making those decisions to fulfill the decision that you made earlier. That's where true character is built. I think it's all a mindset and a mindset thing.
Such a wealth of information. Will you grow your mustache again?
Maybe one of these days if it connects in the middle, but right now it doesn't connect in the middle. I also can't grow any hair here or here. So for now, I'm just going to be a clean shaved guy.
I think your father still has that same issue when you look at his beard closely. I tried to grow facial hair in my 20s, and it was a huge failure. And every time I would try for years, I failed until a year and a half ago. And then I discovered, wow, everything has filled in. But I had to wait till it could turn gray for it to work.
You win some, you lose some.
You win some, you definitely lose some. All right, who are you rooting for this weekend?
I think I am rooting for Tom Brady to win. Obviously, I don't know if you know my dad or not, but he's a huge Red Sox, Patriots, Celtics. I don't know if you knew that about him or not. I'm happy to say that I do have those same beliefs. So obviously, it hurts seeing Tom Brady leave, but you know what? The guy had a great career. He was loyal, and whenever he had to, he did everything that he could for his team to win. And what else can I expect?
Whatever he had to do.
What else can I expect from the guy? So obviously you hate to see him leave and would love to have him back, but you know what? I wish that guy luck this Sunday.
So I want to say I heard a stat the other day that this will be his 10th Super Bowl. Is that right?
This dude is an animal.
I mean, that's almost 20% of the Super Bowl.
It's ridiculous. No, I think he's been to more Super Bowls him personally than a vast majority of the entire NFL franchise wise.
Unbelievable.
It's wild.
All right. Your mom says no mustache. Leave it clean.
No mustache. Leave it clean.
Leave it clean. All right. What are 2 or 3 things that all 21 grads should do financially?
2 or 3 things all 2021 grads should do financially. I think you can never go wrong with having that, $1,000 to $5,000 in an emergency fund at the bank level. And I think at that point, I think it's really just putting an emphasis on living by design, living intentionally with what you're doing financially. And that's really what we do is to help shed light on some things that maybe, strategically you'd never be aware of, some of those blind spots that people don't see. But I think a general answer is to have, a good savings plan in place and to always protect your top line personal revenue.
So when you look back, when conflicts arose, how did you get out of them? How did you disarm them? How did you disassemble them? Still the wrong word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think along the lines of what I was saying earlier, kind of trying to pull myself personally away from a situation. What's really happening, and how can I move forward in the best efficient way possible? So I guess at some level, just, hey, let's pull myself away from it, try to dissect the issue, whatever it is, the conflict, and how can I logically and reasonably take another step forward?
Okay, so your father brings up Bitcoin. I'm just going to say cryptocurrency in general, Mr. Virtual CFO. Yay or nay?
I don't have any idea. I'm not licensed to talk about that. But personally, man, I have no idea. I like to focus on things that I have control over, and things that have liquidity, that ideally have cash flow. So
I saw that there was a cryptocurrency that came out. I think it was, I want to say I read it was either 8 or 15 years ago as a joke called Dogcoin.
Dogecoin.
You know what? Okay, a Dogecoin. Okay, I couldn't read it, and now it's like gaining value.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last time I saw it was up to just about a penny in value, and that is huge. I mean, whenever you own several thousand shares and they're worth a quarter of a penny or a tenth of a penny, and it goes up to a penny, I mean, talk about a nice little return on your couple of dollars.
So as we're all looking at self improvements as leaders do. What are you currently studying for? Because obviously there's something going on.
I am currently studying for my securities licensing.
Okay.
You have to take the SIE, which is a Securities Industry Essentials exam, which is the entrance exam for the Series 7 and the Series 66, which I will eventually have to get in order to be securities licensed. So currently studying for that.
Lot of financial study, a lot of words that I don't know the meaning of, and many people don't. I'm sure there's a lot of fiduciary terms in there.
There's a couple, yes.
Yeah, just a couple few. So we're at 29 minutes and 50 seconds of our 30-minute show. You, I must tell you, have done tremendously. But wait, let's answer this question. Yes, this is a real beard, and yes, this is a real scalp. We'll just throw that out there. So as we're headed into the rest of Tuesday, still in the first half of the week, what words do you have to encourage people to move ahead?
Words to move ahead. Always see perspective. I think perspective is key. And if you live life only viewing your own perspective, then it's going to be tough to connect with people, and it's going to be tough to move forward when you're not able to connect with people. I think, again, communication is huge. So, man, see things from a different perspective, see things from a different light, and maybe you'll connect with some more people. And I think connecting with more people is going to only help you personally and professionally.
Indeed, absolutely. It's I'll give another shout out to your dad. Little did I know that in June I would be getting a Facebook Messenger from a guy who I had seen scroll up through videos that I had been watching, and I would end up in a group with 23 other people that I didn't know anything about, and now we talk about each other all day long. I'm sure you've heard more about our Megamind group than you've ever cared to know.
I have.
That's great. But like you said, connecting with others. So fantastic insight. Thank you for being my guest. It's been a lively show, and I like guests that bring the party with them. So thank you very, very much.
Hey, thank you for having me on, Sean. Dad, happy birthday. Janae, I love you. Mom, love you. Grandma, love you. Auntie Robin, love you. Everybody else that's on. Sorry I missed you, but I love you guys.
And all of the high school friends who have appeared. So that's it for Litvak Leadership Live today. Different guest tomorrow, different topic, different geography, but same time, 3 p.m. You join us now. Nick, thank you again very much. And everyone else,